All right, let's get right into it. Planning a school trip between the US and Canada is, an incredible experience for students. But before you get to all the fun stuff, there's that one little hurdle we've got to talk about: the border. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know to make that crossing totally painless.
You've got the itinerary planned out. The kids are buzzing with excitement. The bus is booked. You are so ready for an adventure. But the real question is, are you ready for the border? Hey, don't worry, it's not nearly as scary as it might sound. With a little bit of prep, you're going to sail right through. So let's start with the big picture here. The key to a smooth border crossing really is just understanding the rules of the road. And there's one main set of rules we all need to get familiar with. And that rulebook is called the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative, or WHITI for short. I know it sounds super official and kind of complicated, but don't let the name fool you. All it really is a set of guidelines that tells you exactly what documents you need to show when you enter the US from places like Canada. That's it. It's our roadmap for this whole thing. Okay, so now that we know the name of the rulebook is WHTI, let's talk about the essential tools you're going to need in your toolkit. This is the non-negotiable stuff every single person has to have. And listen, this part is absolutely crucial. Every single person, I mean every student, every chaperone, every teacher, even the bus driver, needs to have one of these specific WHTI-compliant documents. There are absolutely positively no exceptions to this. So what are these documents? Well, you've got a few options, but honestly, the most common and universally accepted one is a valid passport. It's the gold standard. Now, some people in your group might have a Nexus card for speedy travel, or maybe an enhanced driver's license. Other trusted traveler cards like a Global Entry also work just fine. But for most student groups, let's be real, the passport is going to be your best friend. And here is a pro tip that could literally save your entire trip. It's not enough for a passport to just be valid. It has to be valid for at least 6 months after your planned return date. This is a super common rule for international travel, and believe me, it's a very easy mistake to make. So please check those expiration dates early. All right, we've covered the basics for every single traveler. But since we're talking about a student trip, there's another really important layer of paperwork we have to get into. We need to talk about the special rules for minors, which are all about keeping the students safe. So this is the big question for any teacher or chaperone, right? What extra proof do the border officials need to see when you're traveling with a group of students who obviously don't have their parents right there with them? This is your essential checklist. Number 1, a notarized consent letter signed by the parents or legal guardians for each and every student. This is your proof you have permission. 2, it's a fantastic idea to carry a copy of each student's birth certificate. And 3, a group roster. A simple list with everyone's name, date of birth, passport info that can really speed things up for the border officer. Let's just focus on that consent letter for a second, because it's just so important. That notarized letter, it isn't a suggestion, it's a legal safeguard for the students. It officially proves to the authorities that the parents are fully aware of the trip and have given you permission to travel with their child. Okay, so you've proven who everyone is and that they all have permission to travel. The next piece of the puzzle is proving why you're traveling. You have to show them that this is a legit, organized school trip. To put it simply, the border officials need to know this isn't just a random carload of people. You've got to demonstrate with actual official paperwork that this is a school-sanctioned event with a clear educational reason behind it. And to do this, you'll want a few key things. First, a letter from the school on official letterhead that explains the trip's purpose and lists all the participants. Having students carry their student ID cards is also a great little backup to verify who they are. And this is a big one. For any students who are not US or Canadian citizens, you absolutely must check if they need a separate visa or a travel authorization like an ESTA. I'm going to say this one more time because it is that important. While most of your US and Canadian kids won't need a visa, you cannot assume this is true for everyone. If you have international students in your group, their requirements are totally based on their specific nationality. This has to be checked for each person well in advance. So, we've covered all the what documents you need. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the how to use all this stuff to make your actual day of crossing as smooth and stress-free as humanly possible. I've got a simple 4-step process for you to remember. 1, plan ahead, and I mean get everything ready weeks if not months beforehand. 2, stay organized. Keep all those documents in one easy-to-grab folder. 3, communicate clearly and politely with the border officials. And 4, the final check, always check for updates right before you go. That last step is so critical because, well, rules can and do change. Your best and really only source of truth is always the official government websites. For the US, that's Customs and Border Protection, or CBP. For Canada, it's the Canada Border Services Agency, the CBSA. A quick peek at their site a week before your trip is an absolute must. Okay, so we've gone through all these lists and rules and documents. What's the one thing you absolutely need to remember? What's the single most important takeaway from this whole explainer? It's this. Preparation is everything. Getting your documents in order isn't just another task to check off a list. It is the foundation for a safe, successful, and, most importantly, stress-free trip for you and your students. Because once you've handled the paperwork, you can finally focus on what truly matters. With all your documents perfectly in order, the only question left to answer is, what incredible things will your students discover on their adventure? Have a great trip.